Welcome to the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast, the show that gives you advice on everything from hair to fashion to skincare products. We'll talk about the latest trends in makeup, hairstyles, and anti-aging remedies. And we'll cover all of the newest fashion trends. If you have an interest in or questions about the beauty and fashion trends that might work best for you, the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast has got you covered.
Welcome to the GSMC Beauty Tips Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Colleen, and let's just get into some beauty stuff. So we've been talking a lot lately about makeup. And I thought we'd take a little step back from makeup and move on to some fashion. Now, I'm a makeup artist, so I'm a lot more versed in that world than I am in fashion. I'm not a super fashionable person, but I will do my best when it comes to this. So, but I'm not talking about my fashion and things that I like, but I want to talk about the Milan Fashion Week. Now, I know most of you are probably like, but why? Okay, I have a reason for this. So I thought I would go through a bunch of the different, designers that were at this Milan Fashion Week and go through what I'm seeing in Fashion Week photos and kind of try and see what's going to be a trend coming up and what is not. Now, most of the time when it comes to fashion shows in general, the clothes are very over the top and not something that most people are going to wear every day. But they do usually kind of all come together to create this kind of idea of what's going to be popular in the upcoming, if that makes sense. So we're going to start off with, I'm going to butcher all the names of these designers, just letting you know right now. But let's start off with Anna Kiki, and her FW 2021 fashion collection. So, it's AW 20 collection. Excuse me. Let me read everything that I was looking at. So I'm actually on the website for Fashion Week Online, and they have a lot of the photos for each of these designers. So we're going to start with Annaki. It's Annakiki. Now, let me read what it says here, and then I'll go off of what I'm seeing. So it says with the A/W. So I don't know if it's A and W, kind of like root beer, but A/W 20 collection. Anna Kiki invites us all to introspect and tries to restore the balance between technological development and the need of human beings. I don't feel this kind of stuff when it comes to fashion. Let me know if you do. I'm very confused. The collection accompanies us on a journey between past and future, bringing Anna Kiki's classic silhouettes and iconic cuts to the catwalk, revisited through modern digital prints, asymmetrical designs, and dramatic sleeves. Now, just with the first photo I saw, I think this is true. Now, it also says unstructured raw cut ruches, metal accessories that protect the brain. That's what it says. And 3D elements enrich the outerwear that represent the sense of inadequacy of human trapped in a cocoon called information era. The color palette includes classic shades of brown, green, and orange, but also the colors of the rainbow. So let's see what they're talking about. The first photo I'm seeing here, this woman is in a strange print, it looks like apps on your phone. But it's like really kind of all over each other, and it's leggings, an oversized coat, and what looks like a turtleneck, all in the exact same print, down to the shoes, which are also in the exact same print. Okay, that's interesting. Let's move on. So I'm seeing this other woman. Now, this one is more of something that could be worn, kind of in an everyday thing. So it's a very long, oversized, like fuzzy coat that is blue with some pretty big sleeves. And, she's wearing a kind of it looks like a button-up collared, silk pink shirt that's kind of different variations of a pink tone, and some bright yellow pants, high-waisted, with some clear shoes. Real strange. But I do kind of like this outfit. It's very modern. And I see what they're saying with the colors. It seems like it's kind of your normal colors mixed with pops of brighter colors. Now I'm looking at this next one, which is a dress. And this is a very, very pink dress. It's giving me very 80s vibes, because it's got these huge puffed out shoulders that come down to these very skinny long sleeves, but it's a very short above the knee dress. And it's very ruched at the top. Very, very pink. Very pink. Let's see if we can't find something else. Oh, okay. I'm gonna take this photo and I'm gonna put it on the social media so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Because this is a coat that goes all the way down almost to this woman's ankles, and it is gray, and it's just fabric. It is just, like, you can see the smallest, it's like a Kenny from South Park with the hood on top of it, and it's just a lot of, like, ruffles. It's very strange. I have the photo, and I will be putting it on the social medias. The social medias are at GSMC_beauty tips on Twitter and GSMC beauty tips on Facebook. So I will be posting both of those there. Let's move on to our next one. Now I want to find something else. Okay, so everything that I'm seeing is larger shoulders, kind of 80s to 90s inspired. With pops of color. So I'm looking at this dress now, this woman, and she's got it's a black, almost velvet top on with a kind of gray, poofy-ish skirt. But she's got bright green, gloves, like arm gloves on, and a very bright little pop of color orange bag along with it. I'm seeing very simple shoes when it comes to this, so this is very focused on the outfits. And I'm seeing a lot of bright colors thrown in with neutral or just bright colors is what I'm seeing. And in the color family, I'm really seeing kind of yellows and greens and oranges is what I'm seeing. So when I'm looking at this, oh, she's cute. I just saw her. So this is, I just saw a photo that I'm looking of Anna Kiki, and she's adorable in her black jeans with her black shoes, a black shirt, and then she's got super ruffled sleeves. I don't know. She's adorable. But what I'm seeing from this is a lot of bright colors. So I think we're going real neon, but also very bright pops of color with, more neutral tone colors. Now here's a man, which it's nice to see a man on the runway, and he's in a full-length trench coat that's a more tan color, but along the side of the what is that called? The collar that kind of goes down, it's a blue pop of color. I really like this. I'm going to save this photo as well and put that on the social medias. Now, like I said, what I'm seeing from her collection is very bright, very pops of color. And that's what I'm feeling is going to translate into the upcoming fashion trends. I'm seeing bright pops of color are they're always very popular, but this is very bright color. Very bright pops of color. And just going all out, mixing and matching when it comes to colors. Like there's a woman in a pink skirt and a lightning bolt green long sleeve turtleneck. I'm going to save this one too. I'm going to be posting a lot of photos on the social medias so you guys can take a look at what I'm looking at. So I'm definitely seeing bright colors. Now I'm going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to move on to somebody else from our Milan Fashion Week.
The GSMC Life and Happiness podcast takes you on a journey of exploration. We'll discuss tried and true methods alongside the latest trends of how to best live your life to its fullest and happiest. From psychology to meditation, science to self-help books, the GSMC Life and Happiness podcast will help you to discover what makes you happy and how you can live life being the best you possible. Download the GSMC Life and Happiness podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
Welcome back to the GSMC Beauty Tips podcast. Now, this podcast, we are talking about Milan Fashion Week. I'm kind of going through the different collections that were at the Fashion Week and explaining to you what I'm seeing and what I think is going to be become popular out of these things. It doesn't have to be the specific fashion itself, but just what little things from each collection we're going to be seeing as trends in fashion, I'm assuming. So I'm on the Fashion Week Online website, and I'm looking right now at Iceberg. And I want to read what they say online, because some of these things that I'm reading on here are really hilarious and kind of confusing, but they're trying to explain what they're doing with this specific line, and we're talking about Iceberg. So this one says, Iceberg presents Fall/Winter 2020, a contemporary, luxury, sporty, grungy, and punk women's wear collection. That is a mouthful. The new season encapsulates the brand's luxury world, specialized knitwear, outerwear, and diamond-shaped quilting, the skillful mix and match of fabrics, and all the details that define elevated sportswear with cartoon influence. Okay, so we're seeing some cartoon influence. It says here, the diamond quilted marked with small eyes line cocoon bomber jackets and fitted tailor knit coats and flow from the tops to bottoms on the super splin midi skirts. New shapes for jackets, knitted corsets, trousers, and asymmetrical dresses define a new femininity this season. Short blazers, masculine trousers with a cube lettering print are introduced with this collection. Lace and tulle with embroidery mixed with overlaid create an elevated evening club attire feel. The Jetsons are integrated on the iconic sweaters with the double effect embossed diamond stitching and balloon sleeves. I need my space and out of this world adorn the signature knits with while simultaneously bringing irony and humor to the season. Okay, there's a lot here. That's a lot to unpack. So let's take a look at these photos here. Okay, so I'm seeing, okay, what is this? Okay, so I thought this was one outfit, but it's like two pieces, or a few pieces. So you've got a very long, oversized shirt. The sleeves fit fine, but the shirt is very long, and then a skirt to accompany that is black with that diamond pattern we talked about, but it's kind of like just threads in diamond pattern, and the hat matches. This one's weird. Let's see if we can't. Okay, so this is the out of this world thing. So it is it looks like a hoodie. Oh, it's a hoodie dress that says out of this world on it and has the Jetsons on it, and a very, very long, oversized, puffy jacket that's almost like a puffy jacket trench coat. And she's wearing some white tights with that diamond pattern and some very, very metallic, almost knee-high boots. Now, I'm seeing a trend with these boots and this pattern. Let's see. We've got some very silver, very kind of intergalactic looking. So I see when they're talking about the Jetsons, what they're going for here. Now, okay, so this is supposed to be semi-sportswear, and I really don't see it, right? That's what it said. Yeah, sporty, grungy, punk, whatever. So I'm looking at this, and they're all accompanied by iceberg bags, but when they're holding the bags, they kind of look like trash bags. I think it's just the way that they're told to hold them. Let's see if we can't find another good one. I mean, they're all very interesting. So I'm seeing a trend here with very long, oversized sweaters, like jackets. We're going for a very, very long jacket. Nothing too short here. Trench coats seem to be in. I don't know what that is. Oh, okay, I'm saving this photo to show you guys. Now, I'm not trying to make fun of Fashion Week, because when you go to any of these fashion shows, like I said earlier on, the outfits are really kind of all over the place. They're all over the place, and I mean, that's okay. They're going all out when they come to this, and so you're seeing things that aren't normally going to be worn by your everyday person, or even by a lot of your celebrities. So you gotta kind of look at it in a different way, which is what I'm trying to do, is look at everything and see what could be incorporated into a normal look and what I think is going to be fashionable as we go along. So I'm seeing this photo that I just saved so I can put it on the social media, and it's a man in a very oversized puffy jacket trench coat thing that is very white, with white boots, a white bag, and a hoodie underneath with the hood up and kind of scrunched in like that like Kenny from South Park. It is a very, very white look. Very white. So I'm seeing a lot of themes with, once again, that pop of color. I'm seeing a lot of pop of color. I'm seeing a lot of pops of pink here. Pink and green is what I'm seeing here. And a lot of black and a lot of white. And mix matching, black and white together. Now, let me go down a little bit more and see if there's anything else that they say about this. They say textured fabrics such as caddy and scuba, I'm not sure, embellished with lurex, include a split version bringing shimmer to the season. Frosted silver and pure galactic whites are juxtaposed with the black and gold of wild techno parties. I'm not sure what that means. Military green and acid green, red and pink. So you see what I'm saying with the pink and the greens. Accessories include earmuffs, faux fur hats, gloves in quilted nylon, and sporty boots and puffy handbags. So that's what I was talking about when I was saying the bags. It's the way that they're holding them in the photos that kind of make them look like trash bags because they're so puffy. It says James Long, the label's creative director, has designed a collection with nods to the brand's iconic clothes with an updated twist, intertwining pure London spirit with hallmarks of a historic made in Italy brand. So there's a lot to unpack here. And I mean, that's kind of what it is. It's gonna be with all of these, is there's just a lot to unpack here. Oh man, let's see. I'm gonna click on some other ones. So I'm definitely seeing a kind of space intergalactic type of theme here. Obviously they're referencing the Jetsons in some of their shirts. And it's just very, I don't know, space-esque. Very spacey, very puffy, puffy jackets they're in, and very long. Once again, long jackets. I'm seeing a few jackets that are semi-short, but still very puffy, and other than that, it's very trench coat length. So I'm definitely thinking from seeing this collection that longer jackets are going to be in, along with a lot of black and white together. That kind of thing I think is going to translate well into the years coming, and maybe also puffy bags. Now, I'm going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about another fashion designer at the Milan Fashion Week.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Welcome back to the GSMC Beauty Tips podcast. Now, we've been talking about Milan Fashion Week. I've been going through different collections from different designers, talking about what they say about their collection, and then talking about the collection itself and what I think is going to kind of trickle into the everyday wearers kind of fashion as time goes on. So we are going to talk about Gilberto Calzarolari. Calzarolari? I'm gonna butcher all these names. I'm so sorry. And this is his Tilt System collection. So let's read about it. It says, Tilted or Tilt System, the new collection by Gilbert Calzarolari. We're going to call him Gilberto, takes these contrasts by the horns, by highlighting the contradictions and by offering surprising outfits to be mixed and reassembled at will. In a multifaceted wardrobe where women's cuts paired with men's fabrics and details, winter and summer clothes together, and styles from different eras collapsed into unusual, yet always glamorous silhouettes and bright colors, clashing black and white stripes and dissonant geometrics as in a glitch, reveal a truly contemporary aesthetic. A virtuous answer to our new consumption habits and to the most diverse seasonal requests in a statement against the mechanism of mass production that force us to increasingly frenzied rhythms. Okay, there's a lot to unpack there, Gilberto. Let's take a look. Oh, no, there's a little bit more to talk about. Let's talk about this right now, before we get into the looks. So it says, needless to say, sustainability is always at the core of the brand's ethical values. Between pattern wool from regenerated yarns, organza and crepe de chine in 100% organic and GOTS certified silk, fake fur, recovered vinyls and neoprene, and semi-gloss satins of recycled polyester from PET bottles. In a mix of avant-garde sustainable fabrics on one hand and on the other splendid warehouse stock fabrics discovered among reputable textile companies, up to the upcycling of unusual and original materials, a signature in Gilberto's collection. In this case, broken umbrella sheets, which, when recovered, became real dresses. That's cool. Honestly, I like what Gilberto is doing here with all his ethically sourced stuff, and their values. And I like the idea of broken umbrella sheets becoming dresses. The result is precisely Tilt System, a virtuous example of conscious glamour that redefines the concept of luxury through the lens of sustainability, and is expressed not only in the choice of materials, but also in a new production approach, a slow fashion that, in the name of a return to tailored quality and exclusivity, breaks with the frenetic seasonal model by offering an eclectic and surprising year-long collection with touches of all seasons. Now let's get into this. I actually took a little peek at some of these before I got on here and started talking about it, and I actually like this collection, to be honest. So this first photo I'm looking at, this woman is in a knit dress that goes just above the knee, and it's got pockets, like vinyl pockets that go down from the hip to the bottom of the dress. I want this dress. I love this dress. She's wearing like science protective glasses, and her shoes are really cute. I'm pulling this photo so we can continue to look at it later on, and I can show it to you guys. Now, let's see what else we can find here. We do see clashing patterns, like they said. I see a woman in a vertical white and black striped long sleeve shirt with a skirt in that same material. It looks almost like the dress, but it's more of a what am I looking for? What is that pattern I'm thinking of? Oh, it's plaid. Okay, so kind of like a plaid-esque look. I like this as well. Let's go into something more colorful. So I'm seeing a few dresses that are just shapeless, kind of straight almost to the floor dresses. This one is in purple, long sleeves, higher neck. I'm not a big fan of those. More stripes. I'm seeing a lot of big shoulders when it comes to this. And a lot of that same material, like the skirt in the first one I talked about. I see a girl is wearing kind of like a bandeau almost, and that skirt, but turned into shorts. So I see what he's saying by versatile. Ooh, I love this. I'm saving this photo for you guys to look at as well. This woman looks stunning, like business ready in this, I don't know, mixture of definitely mixture of patterned dress, and it's black sleeves. It's got a yellow front bit. At the sides are that houndstooth pattern, and then the front is plain, but it's kind of a pink color. Man, this is why I'm saving this photo, is because it's hard to explain to you guys, but she looks like a boss in this photo. Like she's ready to take on the world. Once again, lots of really bright colors, bright pops of color. I'm seeing a lot of vinyl as well. High necklines. Ooh, and I'm seeing some dresses that are wrap dresses, that are really kind of all over the place when it comes to color. And I'm really liking this collection, to be honest, this mixed match of patterns. Oh, and there he is. At the end, I'm seeing a photo of our friend Gilberto here, and he looks so happy as he's walking down in his like almost Hawaiian style shirt. It's cute. And I'm really enjoying this collection that he's made. I guess if you are looking for some sort of fashion inspiration, you should go look up Gilbert Calzolari. I'm going to spell it so you guys can look him up. It is Calzolari. And Gilberto is his first name. You should look up his winter 2020 collection, which is Tilted or Tilt System. I really enjoy this collection, and I'm glad I found this. And this could give you some really good inspiration for what to do and how to change up patterns and stuff. Maybe kind of just look at what you have in your closet, go and then kind of maybe match patterns that you never thought of matching before. And maybe you'll kind of make something that you like more than you'd think you would. Kind of mix match what you have. And I think Gilberto's kind of telling us to mix match what we have and kind of play around with colors and shapes. And I think we should really do that. I'm going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to talk about another fashion designer from Milan Fashion Week.
Do you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do? All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
Welcome back to the GSMC Beauty Tips podcast. Now, we've been talking about Milan Fashion Week, and I've gone through some of the designers and some of their stuff and what I think is going to be good coming up, but I thought we'd just talk about the Fashion Week as a whole now. And let's talk about Gucci. So now apparently Gucci revealed everything by opening up the backstage to show all what goes on behind the scenes as they were doing it. So as the designer pulled back the curtain, he presented everybody each step of the pre-show prep, which was completely on display. So you could watch the models mingle, get their hair and makeup done as they were getting ready. And once they got ready, they kind of walked to the front and stood in front of the audience. So it was kind of all the prep up into what he was showing, which I think is really cool. As the show began, a turning stage revealed the work of assembling each ensemble before the dressed models stepped to the edge of the stage to show off the finished look. So it was showing everything. So everything from them getting ready, them mingling, all that kind of stuff, to the assembling of the dress and then them showing up on the stage. This is kind of great, to be honest. I think that this is a really cool way to show off your, your stuff. Good on you, Gucci, like for real. Now, let's move on to Moschino. I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure. Moschino. I'm not 100% sure on how you say it. Now, apparently Moschino, the designer, Jeremy Scott, sent modern-day Marie Antoinettes down the catwalk in a parade of French flair, from tulle-printed bustles to saturated velvet jacquard. The unexpected icing is what caught most people's attention, and it came in the form of tiered cake-shaped frocks. Let them eat cake. And apparently dress like it too. So it was very Marie Antoinette inspired, old French flair from what I'm seeing. And there is actually a woman dressed up as a cake. I will take this photo, and put it on the social media for you guys to see, because that's a serious cake that this lady is wearing. It's really fun, bright, floral looks with tall hair, and it's a fun way to do this. Now let's move on to Philip Plein, Plein, and talk about this spectacle. So designer Philip Plein has been called many things, but boring is not one of them. He is the creator that knows no limits and kind of has continued on in Knowing No Limits. So, fashion is in the heart of his work, but it's his showmanship that kind of keeps people coming back each season to see what's gonna happen. The latest endeavor, I'm losing my words here. Oh no. But his latest endeavor incorporated, a fighter jet, boat, cars, and even helicopters alongside a runway that held court to a performance by Tyga. And then the electric opening was followed by an eclectically star-studded show that opened with actress Jada Pinkett Smith and closed with a fashion-forward yet controversial Kobe Bryant tribute. Now, I'm seeing these photos and it's a lot. Jada Pinkett Smith looks stunning. She's wearing some very sparkly jeans, some high stiletto shoes, a very cute, black leather jacket, probably faux leather, with some gold in like embezzlements on the sleeves, holding a cute little mini purse and a lot of gold little embellishments and one very long earring. She looks stunning. Now I'm seeing this controversial Kobe Bryant tribute, and it is a woman in very tall purple boots, small little short black shorts, and a jersey that is very sparkly and says the plain name on top of it with the number 24. Now, to each your own when it comes to what you think about that one, but I really kind of enjoy Jada Pinkett Smith's outfit in here, and obviously it seems like if you're gonna go see any sort of fashion show, you should go make sure you catch Philip Plains, I'm not sure how to say it, but you better go check out his stuff because apparently he puts on a show. Now, let's move on to Dolce & Gabbana, which looks so comfortable. I'm going to save this photo as well and put it up on the social media so you can see because this looks so comfortable and I want to wear all of it. Now, let's talk about this. So, Fatto a Mano, which means handmade, was the title chosen for Dolce & Gabbana's show. According to the show notes, the latest collection is where memories and traditions are timeless concepts to be preserved in order to understand our present. Did anybody get that? Because it's a little confusing. So on the runway, this translated to a meditation on tailoring and knitwear. So it's very knit. A lot of it is very knitted. It looks so comfortable. Like I said, like I want to live in these outfits. The bags are very, very large. One of the ladies is wearing slippers. Love that for you, because everyone else got to wear these heels and you get slippers. Like, love that for you. So it says the focus was on needlework with many models covered in neutral colored head to toe knitwear, super chunky sweaters, bralettes, pants, skirts, hats, bags, socks, and even slippers all had their moment. It was a display of unparalleled skills from knitting masters, and that's really what it is. Once again, I'll be posting these photos on the social medias at GSMC_beauty tips on Twitter and GSMC beauty tips on Facebook, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. This is very well knitted outfits, and everything looks so comfortable. I'm all in for this Dolce & Gabbana Fatto a Mano, show. I'm all in for this. This is stunning and beautiful, and I want to live in knitwear. I don't know. When I see something like this, I'm really hoping that this is going to be really popular in the upcoming times, I guess, as time progresses and all this stuff from these fashion shows start to slowly trickle out into everyday wear. I really, really hope that this super knitted, super oversized, comfy outfits make their way into the mainstream, because I want to wear this. I want to wear this so bad. I'm all in for comfort, and this is 100% comfort. And also, I think we should put all models in slippers. Come on, they gotta walk a runway in ridiculous clothes. Don't put them in some serious heels. They could hurt themselves. Have you ever seen people, like models on runways who are wearing heels that are too high and they like roll an ankle? Ugh, it's the most uncomfortable thing that it's hard to watch, and it feels so bad. Like, I feel so bad for the person wearing those shoes. So honestly, we should just put all our runway models in slippers. Just saying, I think that's a good idea. I want to know what you guys think about this one. This one's probably one of my favorites, but let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about some more just related to the Milan Fashion Week.
Want to find out what movies to go see? Then check out the GSMC Movie Podcast. It's your ticket to the latest movies, whether it's a new blockbuster event, romantic, comedy, or action flick. This show has got it all covered. They talk some what to go see now. Don't bother. What's hot on Netflix and everything in between. That's gsmcpodcast.com/movie-podcast. When it's all about the movies, it has to be this new show. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit gsmcpodcast.com for more info.
Back to the GSMC Beauty Tips podcast. Now, this entire podcast we've been talking about Milan Fashion Week. Just kind of my thoughts on it and telling you what's gone down in Milan Fashion Week and what I think is going to kind of become trends and that kind of thing. So, let's talk about Emilio, if anybody knows what that's from. I love you. But Emilio Pucci, P-U-C-C-I, who played host to a special guest, and they welcomed guest designer I'm just gonna butcher all these names in this. Christelle Kosher of Coach, Koche, for their fall 2020 collection. Pucci revealed heritage and iconic vibrant silk prints that have stood strong through the test of time. Their coupling with Coach, a brand known for clever sportswear, has resulted in a complementary collaboration that pushes boundaries and spans demographics. So from what I'm seeing, everything's pretty purple, which I'm so for, 100% for. And once again, we're going with those mismatching patterns. Lots of mismatching patterns, lots of purple. I'm all in for purple all the time. And just, I don't have a lot to say about that one in specific, but let's move on to fringe swings. So swinging fringe. One trend that took center stage on Milan catwalks, in all styles and all shades, was fringe. Fringe sashayed its way down almost every designer's runway. These names, I'm telling you, I'm just butchering it. Bottega Veneta showed in the form of shearling coats, knit dresses, and pants. Prada's thick, embellished car wash panel skirts were standouts, and Salvatore Ferragimo's gold chain speakeasy ready dress proved clutch for the presented day social being. So everything was fringe. What we're talking about is fringe was very, very popular. And what I'm seeing is it's not fringe everywhere, but it's fringe around the bottom of the dress or the skirt or what have you. Fringe is in, and I'm not sure how much of that we will see in the upcoming fashion just in general. I think fringe is always there. Fringe is something that I can take or leave personally when it comes to fashion, because it can look really good and add to a look, but at the same time, it can be pretty annoying if you're wearing it. I know I have this crop top that is it's a crop top, but then there's fringe at the bottom, so it kind of almost it's like a safety crop top, if you will. It's if you want to wear a crop top, but you're not feeling super confident, so it still kind of covers, but it still gives you that crop top look, and I really like that one, but man, do those fringe things stick everywhere. And then you go to the bathroom and you gotta put on your pants afterwards, and your fringe gets stuck in your jeans, and yeah. So that is my personal take on fringe when it comes to this, but it seemed to be really taking the Milan Fashion Show by storm was fringe. Fringe was in, and fringe is in, according to this. Now let's talk a few more designers. Let's talk Fendi. So apparently Fendi was exploring soft power in their collection this time around. They said it felt, people were saying it felt new and modern and ladylike with a very diverse cast of models, lots of grays, neutrals, pastels, and of course Fendi's signature yellow, which were offered up in cashmere, leather, and lace. Officers' coats and blazers felt contemporary, while detailed with boned bodice curved around the back, finished with shoulders that planned to flat point or dropped into a Juliet sleeve. Playful, voluminous shaped skirts were worn with cozy knits, bitted blouses, and one worn with a bonded leather skirt. Followed by neon shock of apricot and lace. So what I'm seeing from these photos is very kind of neutral tone colors. So, you know, the Fendi yellow is still not that bright yellow, and it's still in there. Very kind of sleek, ladylike. The shoulders are a little strange. It seems to be shoulders are out this season. And, I really like the idea of cozy with this knit that's going on, and I hope that trickles in to our, everyday fashion as time goes along. Now, let's talk about Versace. Now, apparently this show was interesting. Somebody said, how do you make or match everyone on their feet staring at J-Lo closing the show? You make them look at their self. So guests were sat in front of a screen with their real-time image staring back at them. Okay, before it morphed into contorted version of the image they were staring at, so themselves, what started as humorous became unsettling. Versace went large on high heel Wellington boots, spliced, sewn, and patchwork denim, razor cut leather dresses, a heritage line of Prince of Wales houndstooth in tailoring that featured extravagant shoulders and hips, and shrunken puffer jackets. So Versace seemed to go an opposite way than a lot of these people, these other designers that we're talking about, with more shorter jackets, and everything looks a lot different than what I'm seeing in general on the stage, with everything else that I've been looking at today. Obviously going a lot on those high heels. Patterns are matching here. There are a lot of silvers, blacks and whites, some bright pinks, pops of color, and honestly kind of underwhelming. And it's kind of underwhelming. I'm saying this as an outsider looking in at all the pictures and different designers that I've been looking at through this research that I've been doing. So, I just kind of wanted to point that out, here, and also just talk about how weird is that whole, beginning of this fashion show. So you're sitting there waiting to see fashion by a designer you really like. Let's say you really, really like Versace and you're like, yes, I'm so excited to see this show. You're sitting down and you're looking up at this screen that's showing you a picture of yourself and everybody else sitting next to you. You're kind of giggling about it, like, oh, this and that. And then next thing you know, it starts to distort and just really turn and twist and look real weird before starting this. And you're like, okay, this is real weird. Donatella, are you okay? Like, I don't know. I think it's real weird. And I'm honestly, like I said, kind of underwhelmed by these clothes versus everything else that I've seen while looking into all that's been on these Milan runways. So I'm not sure what that's all about. It just kind of looks normal, kind of regular, if that makes sense. And I think that's okay. Versace can do whatever she wants. She's still gonna, she's still gonna make money. And I mean, a lot of you guys might actually like these outfits. But like I said, I've been staring at different outfits from different shows around Milan, for Milan Fashion Week. So, for me, it's underwhelming. I'm going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about some more designers at Milan Fashion Week.
The Golden State Media Concepts Travel Podcast, the show that gives you advice on everything travel. We explore places you've always wanted to go, as well as giving tips for traveling in those places. We'll give you advice on the best sites for travel tips, information, and discounts. Join us as we travel the world, explore cultures, and meet new people. The Golden State Media Concepts Travel Podcast has got you covered. Download the GSMC Travel Podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type GSMC in the search bar.
Welcome back to the GSMC Beauty Tips Podcast, and this entire podcast we've been talking about Milan Fashion Week, all sorts of stuff about it, what's gone on, what looks there have been. We've talked about different designers, and I've kind of described looks that I'm seeing, and obviously I'll be posting all the pictures that I've promised on the social media, which is at GSMC_beauty tips on Twitter and GSMC Beauty Tips on Facebook. And I'll post all the photos so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But let's move on to Giorgio Armani. So Emporio Armani. Giorgio Armani opened on a section titled, I'm Saying Yes to Recycling. Next came a collection that hung in the balance between masculine and feminine, with long flowing jackets alongside high-buttoned blazers worn with wide-legged trousers. The hero was the white shirt worn with a carvet or jabot. I'm not sure what that is. Around the neck. Masculine houndstooth and check took a softer path when lace and draped velvet were added atop. And delicate ruffles lighten the mood. The collection was predominantly graphic monochrome with a light dusting of 3 shades of green from forest to jade. So from what I'm seeing in the photo that I'm seeing, it's these two kind of suits that go together. So you've got your long, wide-legged pants in velvet, and this is very jade green and a blue, and a shirt, a high-button blazer kind of shirt, but only buttoned at the top, and it's in the exact same material, so it really kind of looks like it goes together, along with shoes that goes together as well. This looks stunning. I mean, I'll save the photo so you guys can have a good look at what I'm looking at. I think this looks great. Let's move on to a different designer. Let's talk about Etro. The collection had South African influences, Argentine guacho. I can't with words today. I'm so sorry, you guys. But style hats and fringe detailing. So once again, fringe is in. A shearling coat had folk-like embroidery and multi-textural applique, and fringe knits were wrapped in paisley painted roughly floaty dresses. So everything, let me explain this because the way that I'm reading off of this that it's trying to explain is not working. So what I'm seeing is a lot of really nice flowy outfits with some very kind of muted patterns, paisley-esque patterns. We're looking at like lighter colors, cream colors. There is a bright red, but it's not like in your face bright. A more muted green, some browns with some whites, and everything looks really fantastic, nice and flowy. Everybody looks stunning. I'm loving this Etro collection that has this South African, or South American influences, excuse me. Now, let's move on to number 21. This was Alessandro Delacroix. I'm gonna spell this name for you. Alessandro Delacroix. So Dellacqua. 10th anniversary at his label, number 21. So this show was full of his signature style, a touch of very cool and slightly rebellious outfits mixed with the play on masculine and feminine. That seems to be a very popular trend that I'm seeing as I'm looking at all of this is just a play on masculinity in feminine wear. I think we're kind of all going that androgynous route anyway, where it doesn't matter what you wear, you know, and I'm okay with that because I definitely, like me and my husband share shirts all the time and clothes and all that kind of stuff. Plus, I like to wear a lot of more men clothes, and that's okay. I mean, I like to mix it up when it comes to that kind of thing, and that kind of seems what we're kind of going towards with a lot of these outfits that we've seen on this Milan runway, and I really think that that's a fun thing. Play around with shapes and colors and textures. I think you really should. So let's see what else it says about this. So a mannish style worn as a dress. Okay, what? Oh, a shirt worn as a dress. Yeah, so like big oversized shirts worn as dresses. I do this all the time. You know, kind of, it's just really honestly everything I'm seeing in this, especially, this number 21, Alessandro Delacroix, show, excuse me, I'm losing my words. We're losing it over here, is very much a play on masculinity, in feminine wear. Now, I'm going to stop here when it comes to talking about designers and really kind of talk about what we've looked at today. I want to talk about all the things that I think are going to kind of trickle in to our fashion and things I think you should do to kind of up your fashion game. So what I've been seeing a lot is this masculine kind of look for feminine, and I really do think that you should play with different shapes and different textures and all sorts of different clothes. I shop in the men's section a lot in different places, and that's okay to do. Also, mix your patterns up. Take patterns that you don't think go together and kind of throw them together. Mix your patterns up. You're high fashion if you're doing that because that's what I'm seeing a lot here. Also, it seems that like trench coats and very, very long coats are in. This is something that I've seen, or I've been seeing this entire time. It's just really long coats, not very skinny pants. Pretty, baggy pants are pretty in here. We're looking at a lot of pops of bright colors along with, you know, more muted tones to kind of bring an extra oomph to your look. And I'm always one for a pop of color. Like, if you're going to go for it, do a pop of color. I've said this before on the podcast, and I'll say it again. Pops of color are a great way to elevate a look. Whether it comes to your clothes or even your makeup and even your hair. Pops of color are great. Now, take these pops of color and throw them into something that you're not used to wearing. Really kind of get out there and do your own thing. Like, try different shapes, try different things. It's like overalls for me. I was not a fan. I was like, I'm not going to wear overalls. I'm going to look like a kid that's, you know, the whole thing. I'm not going to do it. And then my sister forced me to do it. And lo and behold, I love them. Really kind of go out of your comfort zone and try something new. It doesn't mean you have to wear it out. Just try something new. Try something out in your home and maybe you'll find something you don't like. Or if you're out shopping and you look at something, you're like, man, that would look so good on somebody, but it's not going to look good on me. Go try it. Like, for real. Just try it on, see what you like. And you could really find a whole nother niche in your style repertoire that you didn't know was there. You know, you could really kind of find something that maybe looks the best on you that you didn't think. And that's kind of really what I'm trying to push home with the entirety of this podcast is, yeah, this is what Fashion Week is telling you, but honestly, do you, but venture out. In every single one of these runway shows, no matter where it is, Milan, New York, I don't know, wherever else they do fashion shows, your strip mall, I don't know. But wherever it is, they're just kind of doing what they want and trying to make the next trend in fashion. You can do that on your own, for real. Just do what you want, mix and match things, wear things in a different way. That's how trends are started. And it's, you know, just branch out, try and have fun, play with fashion. Fashion is fun and it doesn't matter if you're fashionable to the, average person. As long as you feel good in what you wear, it shouldn't matter what you wear. Now, I want to thank you guys for sitting with me or standing or running on a treadmill or whatever you're doing, driving in a car. I don't know what you're doing while you're listening to this. I want to thank you for listening to me ramble about Fashion Week because I saw some of these fashions and I was like, we should talk about this. And I also thought we should take a break from makeup since we've been really heavy makeup on this. But we're not 100% makeup. I mean, come on. And seriously, guys, once again, I want to thank you so much for listening to the GSMC Beauty Tips podcast brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I'm your host, Colleen, and I'll talk to you in the next one.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast, part of the GSMC Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, or anywhere you find podcasts. Just type in GSMC to find all of our shows from the GSMC Podcast Network, from health and wellness to entertainment and life and happiness to sex and relationships. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's episode of the Golden State Media Concepts Beauty Tips Podcast.